Hey y'all, and welcome back to some Pokemon. We are here with the Angry Monkey,
Yo yo, what up, home dogs?
also
Yeah, we're playing
no.
some more Pokemans.
So we, this is the next session as far as from where the last part left off. Um, I did not do anything off screen, so we are pretty much picking up where we left off, which
It's
um
some pretty painful grinding.
depends how we go about it. I know we was talking about last time maybe having a couple of different options, but so as you can see, we have 0 badges currently. We do have 11 Pokemon in the Pokedex, which is good.
That's a good start. Yeah, only 139, or I guess 140 more to go if you want to count Mew. Yeah, well, that's also based on the originals.
Yeah,
Anyway, yeah. Oh yeah, I like this. This is a feature that they added into Fire Red and Leaf Green, where it's like previously on your quest, and it's like kind of the
yeah.
highlights from the last time you played. Um, we only stepped in there for a second, but apparently that was noteworthy. It's like Fyra stepped out of the museum. That was too expensive because we only have 12 Poké Dollars to our name. Full of tough trainers. Preparations had to be made. There was only one trainer in there. But yeah, preparations definitely had to be made because we are not ready for Brock.
Right.
Um, yeah, so wow, it's stuck on
Oh,
previously on your quest one.
I guess so. Okay.
Okay. And then here we are on Route 2 south of Pewter City. Let's look at our team real quick.
Oh, that was the wrong thing. I was saying,
Bulbasaur. We
I
don't
was.
have a Bulbasaur. Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
so
Wheel.
we have a hurt wheel D, so that's awesome. Wheel.
Yeah.
I
And
think
I heard wattage too.
we
Yeah.
almost got Weedle to the evolved state.
Yeah, let's see on how far that one is.
Summary.
And head over.
Oh,
Okay, so 211. We got a little bit to go.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just train for a little bit. Obviously, get Metapod up one more level, but I also say well, I would say let's get everybody up to level 10, but that's at this point in the game with how low these levels are of wild Pokemon, that's painful.
But
Um, but
especially since our shiny Pidgey is at level 2 at the moment.
Well, okay, the Pidgey and the Pikachu will be pretty easy to train because they're pretty much on par with the levels of the stuff that we're fighting here.
Mm-hmm.
So those would be pretty easy to train. Metapod and Mankey, and especially Squirtle, since it's like over level 10, we're gonna be at that for a while.
So I think I'm just gonna start with Weedle gonna be our starting
That's a
teammate.
that's a good idea.
Um,
Go down to Switch.
say what?
When you click on a Pokemon, select Switch.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Um, funny enough, Weedle will probably go off the team whenever they get evolved.
Probably, but hey, it's just an easy dex entry. That's all
Yeah,
that is. That's fine.
we might find another shiny. Like
Maybe
that wasn't supposed to happen last time.
no, but I'll take it. I'll take a shiny. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Alright, what do we got going on here?
The
Rattata.
Rattata, level 4.
Okay, okay. In that case, well,
Hmm.
I
Well,
mean,
we could either just let Weedleduh take all these out and give Weedleduh all the experience just to
oh
get it out.
right, he does have an attack since I
Yeah,
trained him up.
yeah, it knows tackle.
Yeah.
So
I,
yeah, it's not just harden. We do know tackle at least. But that's why I said catch a Caterpie, don't catch a Metapod.
yeah, yeah,
Now I do remember there was a story I told you, but I think that
yeah.
was during the off recording, like when we
Yeah.
were and that was just a funny story that I read with somebody was playing Ruby or Sapphire, and they thought that um, the route right above the starting town of Little Root Town, they thought that that was pretty much the entirety of the game. So they got their starter, and they just beat up all the level 2 and 3 Zigzagoons and Poochienas above Little Root Town until their starter was like level 100, because they thought that was all there was to the game. Not realizing there's another town above Little Root Town in an entire region. They're like, oh, I thought that was the entire game. They were probably like 5 or something, but still, I'm like, how do you not go north and just like, I mean, I get it, there's trees blocking the sides, but I would have
I'm
explored like every inch of that area, and you realize, oh, there's a whole town up here. That's cool.
right.
Yeah.
You know, trying to and this kind of pops in my mind like whenever we do our three-way stops episode since we're playing older games. It kind of makes me go back and think about how did I really approach games when I was younger, when I played them.
Yeah, that's a good
I,
question.
not
I know how I approached some games when I was a kid, but I was older when I started playing video games compared to like you and Fruit, because like you and Fruit started when you were like 4 or something. Like Fruit started when he was like 2 or 3 or whatever.
Yeah, just a different era. Like I grew up with my first system, well, being a NES, and that was not due to not due to like a personal choice. Like it was more due to that is what was out at the time,
Yeah.
and obviously I got a Super Nintendo when it came out. But yeah, NES was kind of the starting point for me, and I can remember a lot of Super Mario Brothers on that thing.
Oh yeah. That's obviously like the thing to start with. Yeah, so when I really started playing video games, two of my earliest memories was the Game Boy Color at Circuit City, which had Pokemon Blue, and all I did was just walk around Pallet Town, which that's all I had time to do. Like my dad's in there for like 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, and I'm like, oh, there's a Game Boy over, or there's a video game over here. Like I didn't know what Nintendo versus Sega versus Sony. Like it's just, oh, this is a video game. Maybe I knew what a Game Boy was. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, I just remember like grabbing a hold of that Game Boy Color at the kiosk, and all I did was walk around. Like I walked out of my house, walked over to my rival's house, walked down to like Professor Oak's house or the lab, and I'm just like, whoa! I'm like exploring this town here. Like I thought it was like the coolest thing ever, and I didn't even go out into the grass. I didn't even know I was playing Pokemon. Like I knew what Pokemon was. I'm pretty sure that was during my era of being a Pokemon kid, but I had no idea I was playing Pokemon. I'm just playing a video game where I'm just walking around this town. I had no idea what I was doing. So
So
that was my earliest memories with video games. And then the other one was at Target back in 2000, and it was Banjo-Tooie on the 64. And I played the demo of that while my parents were shopping, and then they'd come get me when it's time to go. And again, same thing. I'm just walking around the little village. It was the Jinju village south of Gruntilda's lair, and I do remember I made it across to Gruntilda's lair, but I couldn't do anything in there. I guess because either A, you're not supposed to that early in the game, or in the demo you can't. I've never actually really played too much of Tui on my own outside of that demo. I just have a lot of nostalgia for that game, even though that nostalgia was me back in 2000 and not any time since. Now, I've gotten pretty far in Kazooie, couldn't beat it because I'm terrible at video games, but I do remember just, again, running around the village. Like, I didn't have any objectives in mind. It's just the fun idea of being in a video game world and walking around exploring. That's all I cared about, because I couldn't do that at home. Like, I didn't have video games at home, so that was kind of my way to escape reality, was just explore a video game world.
Yeah. Interesting. So, Pokemon is essentially probably one. Is it one of your first games you played?
I guess so. It was the very first game that I got. Like, when I got my first Game Boy, I specifically sought that out. But by the time I got my first Game Boy, it was 2002, and a kid at summer camp gave me his old original Game Boy, and he kind of explained what a Game Boy was versus a Game Boy Pocket versus a Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Advance was out by that point. Because there was a girl at summer camp that had her Game Boy Advance. The kid that gave me his Game Boy, he was playing on his Game Boy Pocket. He had yellow version, which you start off with Pikachu in yellow version, and Pikachu follows you around. It's basically like playing as Ash from the show. And I wanted blue version because I like the color blue, and he said that, like, blue and red are the first. So I could have gotten yellow like him, but I'm like, well, if red and blue are the first ones in the series, I should get one of those. I chose blue over red. I could have gotten gold and silver if I wanted to, but I thought, no, I want to start from the very beginning with the Pokemon that I remember growing up with. Because I didn't really know too much of Gen 2, because the only episodes I really saw all the time were the original season, because the Gold and Silver anime was new at the time, so you didn't really see reruns of those. You only saw reruns of the original Season 1 and Orange Islands. But yeah, I started off with Blue version as my very first video game I ever bought. But I was already like extremely into Pokemon at that time, so it was a no-brainer to make Pokemon my very first video game ever.
Right.
Yeah. But it is kind of interesting when I reflect on that Game Boy Color story, and I don't think I knew I was playing Pokemon. I knew what it was, obviously, and I'd seen a lot of the episodes of the show. I mean, I guess I was still at the beginning of the Pokemon phase for me at that time, but I knew what it was, obviously. I started collecting the toys, I started watching the show, but I didn't know what I was playing. It was just a video game, and like, oh cool, I'm going to explore this town in this video game. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does make me wonder, since you're talking about like NES and stuff, I'm thinking, like, how would I have approached Mario or really any of the platformer games on the NES? Because there's not a lot of exploring, and that's kind of what drew me to my first few memories of video games, was just exploring the video game world, and you don't really do that in a lot of NES games. There are some, obviously, like Zelda. You obviously explore the world in the first Zelda game, and there's other top-down games, but there's not really a lot of exploring, so I don't really know how I would have approached, say, the original Mario.
Yeah.
So what about you? Some of your early memories?
Alright, so obviously, like I mentioned before, Super Mario Brothers was my first game. It was the game I probably played the most of on the regular Nintendo. let's see. Eventually, I had little stuff like Ghost and Goblins at one point I had, which I played that. I couldn't really get that far in it, but
Really?
I did
You
play
you
it.
you could you couldn't beat Ghosts and Goblins when you were like 4?
I would say I was around 7.
Oh, you couldn't
Um,
beat Ghosts and Goblins when you were 7? Isn't that like the easiest NES game ever?
um, but yeah, I don't really have a. It's odd. I don't think I had a lot of games as a kid,
Hmm.
but I did have like the regular NES and Super Nintendo. I just don't think I had a lot of games. I
That's
might
fair.
have rented more games than I owned, to be
That's a
honest.
pretty common childhood story. Like kids of the 80s and 90s, they only had a handful of games, and every other game that they played, they rented from like Blockbuster or something.
Like, because obviously I had the Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt cartridge. I can remember that. I can remember Ghost and Goblins. Um, I can't really remember much else till later on when kind of like my first phase when I went back and bought an original NES back when I was like 15 or 16 years old.
Yeah.
Now I can remember a handful of games I got with that, but back when I was a kid, like with Super Nintendo, I think I only had like Super Mario World was my main game that lasted me probably years, to be honest. It, I guess it kept me entertained that long.
Yeah. I mean, it's Mario World's a classic. One of my go-tos on the Super as well.
Now
And,
I can
I've got some extra nostalgia for Mario World compared to other Mario games because that was kind of the first Mario game that I played. I mean, I knew who Mario was, obviously, but like, um, in 2002 or 3, um, yeah, it was my birthday of '02. I got my Game Boy Advance. So I turned 10, I got my Game Boy Advance, and I got a Bionicle game with that Game Boy Advance as well. And then I think the first video game that I bought myself was Mario World for the Game Boy Advance because that kid at summer camp gave me the Game Boy, and my mom bought me blue version because she's like, okay, we'll buy you one game for your Game Boy. I'm like, okay, cool, blue version. And then my birthday, which was like a month or 2 later, I got that Bionicle game, and then I remember playing at the Game Boy Advance kiosk Mario World on the Game Boy Advance, and I'm like, oh, this Mario game's really cool. I want to get this one. So that was kind of the first video game I bought with my own money, I guess.
yeah.
And obviously, as a kid, I couldn't beat it, but yeah, all right, we're getting a Butterfree now.
Yeah. I remember you say you have more of a nostalgic tie to Butterfree over Beedrill.
That's probably because of the anime, because Ash had that was the first Caterpie was the first Pokemon that Ash caught in the show. I mean, so he started off with Pikachu, obviously, and then when they got to the Viridian Forest, he caught Caterpie, and then by the end of by the end of that episode, so he catches Caterpie. By the end of that episode, it evolved into Metapod, and then in the very next episode, it evolved into Butterfree. So he had Butterfree before his first gym.
Yeah.
Um, so there was a lot of nostalgia with Butterfree just because Ash used one in the show early on. And then you also have the episode of Bye Bye Butterfree, which any kid of the 90s tears up even at the thought of that episode. Where we had to say goodbye to our friend Butterfree so that way it can leave with a rare pink Butterfree. Yeah. So, who are we going to swap with?
I'm gonna.
Yeah, no sense having that Pidgey since we have.
Yeah.
But Pidgey's like, oh hey Butterfree, hey
I
Pidgey.
I bet it's probably between. Thing is, I don't know what kind of attacks Spearow learns between um having a Pidgey and a Spearow. So
They learn different attacks. Trying to think on the best way to describe it. So like Spearow can do like
honestly, wait.
move.
Both Rattata and Spearow both have an evolution you need to hit, right?
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter what I pick, right? To be honest.
It doesn't really matter. Let me. I know when. I know when Rattata evolves. Let me see on when. Okay, so actually they both evolve at the same level.
Hmm. Okay, well then I'll just go with Spearow for now.
Okay.
Good old Angry Bird.
All right, so now let's look at our team and see on.
Alright, so we need to get the others up to level 10, you say, right?
Oh, well, I mean, that's just kind of a good starting point. Just get everybody to double digits, but Sparkles and Wattage, I think, will be the easiest to level up for a little bit because of
Yeah.
how low they are. So I think we can get them to like level 7 pretty quick.
Yeah, let's have Wattage or Sparkles lead the pack and then we'll switch as needed.
Okay.
But yeah, it wasn't until like the Genesis where my parents must have got me like a bundle or something from a yard sale or something for the Genesis. Cause I remember having a lot more games for the Genesis. And by a lot more, I mean like 5 or 6 instead of the 2 or 3 that I had for the NES and Super Nintendo.
Okay. No, I mean that's fair. Yeah, I had a pretty small collection starting out, which I mean I guess that's everybody's, unless somebody is like given a collection or something. That's pretty much everybody's experience where they only have like the 2 or 3 games or whatever, and it's a very slow build up, especially as a kid, which like you gotta save up your allowance or you gotta wait for a birthday or Christmas or something. That's like the only way that a lot of these people get these games. They go over to grandma's house, grandma gets
Yeah.
Christmas or
And
whatever.
and,
Yeah.
and honestly, and more of the nice critical hit Sparkles, by the way, but in the early days, like for birthdays, video games wasn't as often a gift until well, my more like till I was like 8 or 9 years old or something like that. That's when I probably started getting video games as more of a gift.
I guess when you're younger, people don't really know what to get you until you start to.
Oh, wow.
That kind of hurt. All right, well, let's let Pikachu battle because he'll get all the experience points and yeah.
Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, so I pretty much like when you have somebody that's like 4 years old or whatever, people don't really know what to get that a kid at that age. They just like, oh well, he likes whatever. Okay, well we'll get him something related to that or something cute or something.
Yeah, like between like toys and action figures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Board games from the early 90s that them were pretty fun and
Yeah.
had a there were some pretty interesting board games back then.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Um
There's a board game that I remember playing at like indoor recess in 3rd grade, and I know I looked it up at one point, and it really wasn't that expensive. And it was from like the 80s.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like it's like a mansion, and you have a ghost, and the ghost like chases the people through the mansion or something. I forget
So,
what it's called.
so was it a board game that the guy that does the Angry Video Game Nerd also done a series called Board James?
It sounds like a game that he probably did talk about, but I don't think he did. Because I've seen all of the Board James episodes.
So when I think of Spooky and Mansion and stuff like that, 13 Dead End Drive pops in my head.
I do remember that was an interesting one. I did see the video on that, and that one looked like there was a lot of stuff going on in that game. That looked really cool. But I don't think it was that one. I'm looking it up. I'm looking this up now. Keep talking while I look it up.
Yeah, sure thing. As far as board games go, I think I had one that I got for Christmas one year that and then it involved, I can't remember much of it, but it involved like a giant spider or something like that.
Okay.
But I can't remember much more than that for that. But I also remember this was another episode of Board James. And now I can't think of the name, but you're in the jungle around around like this temple on the board, and there's this.
Oh, and like the bridge shakes or whatever.
Yeah, I had that.
Yeah.
I had that
Well,
as a
cool.
kid.
That looks like a fun one. Yeah. Okay. Midnight Party, but I also see Ghost Party. Ghost Party was the game. So I'll just send you a picture of Ghost Party, and you can put that on the screen.
Yeah. I can do that.
Yeah, but we played that for like recess. Oh, that's a bad picture. I'll send you a better one.
There was another game I had when I was younger. It wasn't necessarily a quote board unquote game, but it was one of them games that had this mechanic to it that kind of like Perfection.
Okay.
You know that game?
Yeah, I remember Perfection. That was fun. It's very stressful. It's like very anxiety-inducing.
Anyways, the game itself is called Gooey Louie.
Oh, he has like the snot. You gotta pull like
the
snot out of his nose.
And then pull the wrong one and the brain pops out of the head.
Yep, I remember that one.
Yeah, I had that.
That was that brings up a whole other aspect of nostalgia of the gross out humor.
Yeah.
Because that was like, well, I always thought gross out humor was a thing of the 80s and 90s, but I watched this YouTube video last year, and this guy was going through early 2000s nostalgia, and I had no idea how much gross out humor was in the early 2000s. I'm thinking, like, did the gross out humor like stick around longer than I thought? Because yeah, I thought that was like a 1985 to 1995, because like Garbage Pail Kids and the little gooey bug easy bake oven for boys.
Creepy crawlers.
Crawlers, yeah. So I was thinking that was more of an 80s to 90s thing, but like there was a lot of gross out humor in the early 2000s as well. So I guess that stuck around a lot longer than I thought, or maybe there was a revival in the early 2000s.
Yeah. So there was a lot of going back and forth between the poke center.
That is very common at this point in the game. Yeah, you're gonna be going to a Pokemon Center a lot.
At least until my 2 weakest ones levels up a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's normal. Yeah, you're gonna be like, oh, every battle I got to go to the Pokemon Center. Yeah, that'll be a thing until they learn some stronger attacks and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. So basically, when I was saying earlier about there being having more Genesis games, it makes me excited to when and if we ever get to that portion of a three-way stop season dedicated around Genesis.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm trying to think on some of the Genesis games that I would pick. I've got some in mind.
Oh, I have curveballs because all the games I had as a child, they were weird ones, like ones that people don't talk about.
Okay.
So
I'm intrigued to check them out. I mean, knowing me, I'll probably rage at them and talk about how much I hate them, but I'm intrigued to check them out. Because that's kind of how I am, even on the NES stuff. It's like, okay, well, I'm probably gonna hate it, but let's go ahead and check it out. But I think that's just because how, and I know I've talked about that before, just how hard some of those games are. And, I like to be able to just chill and enjoy the experience, and it's kind of hard to enjoy the experience when you have to redo the experience every 5 minutes.
okay, he's gonna kill me in one attack, so I'm gonna.
Did he use Rodeo Whip?
Yeah, like 3 times.
Okay, yeah, that'll definitely kill you. But hey, Wadding's almost level 5. Cool,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's do this, wattage. But yeah, currently in the timeline for people, this is recorded at a, well, you know, I'm not gonna say that because I don't know what's gonna end up coming out first. I was gonna say we are currently in a timeline of like when we're playing this 3-way stop episode game, but I don't know what's gonna be out first. This episode or yeah, this episode would probably come out first before we get to the point. Yeah. So
that I was going to say something earlier, but I started to dance around it because of the same thing. I'm like, well, I don't want to. It's kind of like I can't really talk about the thing because we haven't done the thing yet, but we would have done the thing like soon, but not yet. So I don't know.
It's a whole video timeline.
Yeah, it's kind of like whenever I make references in some of the old, like especially in the old Angry Monkey episodes.
Yeah.
And I dated the thing so hard by saying like it was in one of our Smash Brothers, like the original Smash Brothers, and I say just today, Pokemon X and Y come out. I didn't upload the video for another like month or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, yeah. As of recording, that was the day that X and Y came out. So it's kind of funny.
Finally,
Um,
something on Sparkle's level.
yeah.
We caught
It, I
we caught him so young.
yeah. It's like I watched a few episodes of Game Grumps playing through Dead Rising 2 because I didn't know they played through that. I'm like, oh, let's check this out. So they're playing Dead Rising 2, and Aaron mentions in one of the first few episodes, he's like, yeah, there's this new game that came out called Overwatch that I've been playing, and I'm thinking, oh man, imagining Overwatch as a new game is weird to me because that game came out, well, I guess 10 years ago, but I guess that's when they started that playthrough was in 2016. So
We
that was
needed
wild.
that.
Good job, Sparkles. You're level 3.
You're getting there.
Yeah, just 97 more levels to go. Just imagine somebody that's trying to level up everybody up to level 100.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure they're out there.
yeah. Well, it's a good thing that we're not doing what they called the Professor Oak's challenge, which basically you have to level up and evolve every Pokemon that you physically can at that point in the game. So, um,
So you would basically just have to level up whatever you catch all the way in the area you found them at.
but not necessarily where you found them at, but I think like each badge is kind of like a checkpoint or like every Pokemon that you can catch before your first badge, you gotta level them up to their final form.
Okay.
So basically, just imagine we now Weedle and Caterpie, no problem. We got those out of the way. That's not a big deal. Oh yeah, we would have to evolve Pidgey all the way to Pidgeot, Rattata to Raticate, Spearow to Fearow, Squirtle to Blastoise
Yeah.
before battling Brock.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like that just sounds miserable. I mean, people have done it, but I'm thinking like why would you do that to yourself? Like, I mean, I understand like um completing the Pokédex and even a living dex because I'm working on a living dex myself,
Yeah.
but that's different from the Professor Oak's challenge where I'm like that's just overkill. But hey, everybody's got their ways of playing, and that's kind of the beauty of Pokemon. Everybody plays it different, and there's not necessarily a wrong way to do it.
Right.
But there's less fun ways to do it for sure.
I do intend to try to catch every Pokemon I can. I
Yeah,
also
here for it.
I almost said Pocketmon.
Pocket I mean, pocket monsters is what they call it in Japan, I guess.
Yeah. But
It's kind
yeah.
of funny when you think about Pokemon, like none of them are small enough to fit in your pocket. I mean, obviously, it's because you put in a Pokeball and that's small enough to fit in your pocket, but like the whole idea of like a pocket monster, you're imagining that all these things will be pocket-sized monsters, and they're not. I mean, we saw Pikachu's 1'4". You can't fit that in your pocket.
Yeah.
But, um, yeah, and just think about some of these other Pokemon that are like bigger than you.
Right.
Yeah. It's like that's not fitting in a pocket. Oh, this. Oh, for some reason, I was saying that Pikachu was out. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be easy for Pikachu. And they're both yellow, but oh, that was good.
It's nice to get in a crit.
Oh yeah, unless you're trying to catch it, then it's not good.
Well, I don't need any more Pidgeys.
Are you sure? You don't want another one? You don't want a team of Pidgey? You don't want to? I'm just imagining you have 6 Pidgey all
Yeah.
with attached to them, so that way they can like lift you up like with rope. I mean, there are some trainers that we'll find in this game called bird keepers, and that's their thing. Is they have a bunch of bird Pokemon like Spearow and Fearow and Pidgey and that line. And yeah, I can imagine they probably have like ropes attached to them, so that way the Pidgey's like, "Lift me, Pidgey," and they just yeah. There was an episode of Hey Arnold with Pigeon Man, and that was
Ooh,
kind of
that saved me. Sorry.
oh, did it miss?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was an episode of Hey Arnold, and he talked to Pigeon Man, and like at the end of the episode, he's like, "Well, Arnold, it's time to go, but you helped to prove to me that not all humans are bad, but time for me to go." And like he stretches out his arms, and all these pigeons fly out of his jacket, and they all have strings, and they're all just he's being lifted into the sky by all these pigeons.
I think I remember that episode.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
watched a lot of Nickelodeon as a kid.
Oh, I did too. I mean, Hey Arnold was kind of more towards the tail end of that for me, but I grew up on like Rugrats in that era.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Rugrats. Yeah, Rugrats was one of the first cartoons Nickelodeon, along with Doug and Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah.
I think those were the first three, and then because that was like '91, and then I want to say in like '94. That's kind of when we had a second wave of cartoons. That's when Rocco came in. Was probably around '94.
Yeah.
Hey Arnold, I think was '96. So there were a couple other shows that started around the same time as Rocco, and I know Cat Dog was like '98.
Oh boy, like Rocco and Ren and Stimpy. They got like that was some pretty like wow factor as far as the humor in them shows.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I can bring myself to watch Ren and Stimpy. I think that's just a little too out there for me, but I watched a lot of Rocco. I mean, not like a lot, but I watched a fair amount of Rocco, and I'm like, I mean, it's weird,
Yeah.
but I think it's grounded enough that I can enjoy it. Whereas I think Ren and Stimpy might be just a little too out there. I thought the same thing about Cow and Chicken. I remember in the late 2000s, I found reruns of Cow and Chicken. I'm like, oh man, Cow and Chicken. I haven't seen this show in like almost a decade. And I watched an episode of it. And I'm like, I don't think I want to watch another episode of this. I mean, I enjoyed it when I was like 6, but watching it when I was like 17 or whatever, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I can't do it. But
I feel that most of the Cartoon Network shows, like them little shows, like Cow and Chicken and such,
yeah.
I don't think I can go back and watch them, to be honest. It would be hard for me to be.
Yeah, it all depends on which show it is, because there are some other shows that aired around that same time that I'm like, oh yeah, like Dexter's Lab. Like, oh yeah, I'm down for Dexter's Lab. That was fun. Johnny Bravo, I watched a handful of episodes. I don't have the nostalgia for Johnny Bravo like I do some of the other shows, but I remember watching it. I probably enjoyed it enough.
Yeah.
But like the Cow and Chicken, I don't know if I can do. I Am Weasel, I thought that was dumb then. I'm trying to think of the other. There was another one that was part of that same like era and time block, because it was like Cow and Chicken was like one half of the show, and then like Weasel was the other half of the show. IR Baboon, that was the third one. They're all like the same kind of humor, and I don't think I could watch any of those. They're just a little too weird. I mean, the whole idea of Chicken's human friends having a crush on Cow, I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah. That.
But I watched Dexter's Lab. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Ed, Edd and Eddy. Billy and Mandy, I didn't watch a lot of, but I remember enjoying the episodes that I did see. Um, and I got to meet all three of those voice actors, which was really fun. Um,
Nope.
but I was definitely more of a Nickelodeon kid. I watched Cartoon Network, but I was definitely a Nickelodeon kid. But I was also the my Nickelodeon era was probably
So when I started with Nickelodeon, it still had shows running from like the late 80s, like Eureka's Castle. I don't know if you heard of that.
familiar.
It wasn't a cartoon. It was like a Muppet puppet type show.
Okay,
Yeah.
look that up because I've never heard of it. Because
But yeah, it's just
oh, okay,
different era.
yeah. Well, that was um. There were a lot of shows on Nickelodeon during that era because you also had a lot of the late 80s sitcoms and stuff that would be on Nickelodeon as well. And then you had, I'm trying to think on like Clarissa Explains It All and The Adventures of Pete and Pete. I don't know where they fell in the Nickelodeon timeline. 'Cause
Right.
when I was a kid, if it wasn't a cartoon, I didn't care. Like I had no interest because like I called it a real show. It's like, oh, that's a real show. Like as in it involves real people. Like it had to be a really special show with real people for me to watch it. Like I remember I watched Barney when I was really little, and that was a real show. Um, but
You know, my super young show, like to watch super young and super, I guess, wholesome, like that kind of show. Bananas in Pajamas.
I was gonna guess that. I remember that. That was a little before my time. I remember like commercials involving the characters, and I've probably seen, I don't know, an episode here and there just on TV. But yeah, I remember I watched Barney when I was like really little. Bear in the Big Blue House. I remember I watched
Yeah.
the first couple seasons of that, which was late 90s, but I do remember that. I watched a lot of the stuff on Nick Jr. and I remember okay, I didn't watch a lot of PBS, but I do remember Little Bear, I do remember Franklin. I didn't watch a lot of Arthur though. I mean, I remember seeing some episodes, but maybe it's just because I didn't know what channel it was on. I just caught it when it happened to be on, like flipping through channels or at daycare at somebody's house and it was on. I'd watch it because it's a cartoon. But I didn't watch a lot of that. I'm trying to think of some of the Nickelodeon shows. Now, I do remember Disney Afternoon, actually. I think I did Disney before switching to Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
So I've got memories of some Disney cartoons until probably 96, 97. And then I switched over to Nickelodeon. And I watched some Disney occasionally until probably around 97, 98. And then I was pretty much exclusive to Nickelodeon. Because I think by that time I'm like, these shows on Disney are for babies. So I kind of like, I'm like 6 years old or whatever. But I do remember a lot of the Disney afternoon shows, Goof Troop, and DuckTales. I watched a lot of DuckTales. I watched Tailspin. What were some of the other ones? Aladdin.
Them were some good ones.
I remember Gargoyles, but I think it was a little too dark for me. But I remember watching it. Or no, I don't remember watching it. I remember it existing. But I remember like the theme song came on. I'm like, no, this is like too dark or too scary or whatever.
I watched all my Disney shows through like a Disney afternoon television segment, which kind of like roughly started at like 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And it kind of ran for the kids that got home from school and such.
Yeah, that was what I did, because that's when I watched Aladdin and Goof Troop, and some of those was during the Disney afternoon um, like block. Um, yeah, that probably went from like 2 or 3 until like 5 or 6 or something. But
Yeah.
I do remember that. And
Did you
um,
did you ever catch any cartoons before you went to school in the mornings?
yeah, there was a lady that watched me in second grade. It was first or second grade, and I was over at her house, and she had the, the, the TV on with cartoons, and we're watching that before the bus came. And I watched a pup named Scooby Doo
Yeah.
and Chippendale Rescue Rangers. I remember those two.
I had a oh, I was big on the whole kind of Saturday morning cartoon segments.
Hmm.
Like it was awesome as a kid. It was
Yeah, kids
it
today they don't have all this like we did.
it was the whole thing of just like you're waking up super early, but you don't got to go to school. That's like celebration.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even realize that Saturday morning cartoons were really a thing until the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I didn't really, I mean, I just kind of just, I guess it's because I didn't really have access to my own TV for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I was, um, like we had the big TV in the living room, and if my parents were watching TV, then obviously I couldn't watch TV. Unless I go into my parents' bedroom and watch the TV in there, which I did do that. My TV in my bedroom only had a VCR, so I was relying on VHS tapes. I didn't get I didn't get like satellite. We had DirecTV, probably 2000, 2001. So I had both DirecTV and my VCR at that time.
Yeah.
Um, but so at that time I was allowed to, or I felt like I was able to watch a lot more shows, but I didn't really discover Saturday morning cartoons until probably 2003, because I would tune into Kids WB for Pokemon at that time. Because my dad's like, oh, did you know that Pokemon's on at channel 64 at 10 a.m.? Like, no, I didn't, but now I know. That's cool. So I remember I watched that and Jackie Chan Adventures. Those were the two that I watched.
How did you feel about Digimon?
Okay, so there's kind of a mixed bag when it comes to Digimon. Me as a kid in the 90s, because I remember Digimon. I remember Digimon was huge because it came out in 1999, and everybody at school was big into Digimon. And I'm like, okay, well everybody's into this, so I want to get into it too. And I remember telling my mom like, oh yeah, all the kids are into Digimon, and my mom's like, okay, well, you're gonna have to choose between Digimon and Pokemon, because if you get into Digimon, you're gonna want to get all the toys. I'm like, okay, I don't like Digimon. And then somebody said that Digimon was a Pokemon like knockoff, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, it is a Pokemon knockoff. It clearly is. There are major outside of the name of Pokemon, Digimon, like, and you have the cute little monsters or whatever. Like, okay, that's kind of where the similarities end.
Yeah.
But since a kid said that at summer, or not summer camp, like daycare, since a kid said that at daycare, I'm like, yeah, you're right. It is a rip-off of Pokemon. And therefore I hated it.
Yeah.
Um, but I've actually met one of the Digimon voice actors. And I'm going to look up which character it is. Okay, yeah, he was Agumon. Yeah, I met the voice of Agumon a couple times actually. Um, I didn't have anything for him to sign at the convention, but he was just such a really cool and friendly dude. Tom Fawn is his name, and we just chatted about just whatever. Obviously, I didn't have any Digimon stuff to contribute the conversation with, but it was just fun to talk to the guy. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyway, I just remember everybody liked Digimon. I tried to, and it's not that I wasn't allowed to, but when I had to choose between something that I already liked versus something that I have no attachment to, obviously I'm going to choose the thing I already have an attachment to.
Right.
Sparkles is like leveling up like crazy here.
Yeah, I'm going hard.
Yeah. And you know what? Gust, it's not really a great move, but at this point in the game, Gust's a pretty decent move. We actually have a flying type move, which is really exciting.
Which Gust basically is strong against flying enemies, right?
No, it is a flying type move, but you
Oh.
can use that on all those Caterpie and Weedle.
Ah.
It'll kill all those.
Hmm.
So yeah, that just helped us out a lot with all the grass and bug types.
Yep. Indeed.
And at this point in the game, there's a lot of bug types, so that'll be pretty useful.
I'm undecided at the moment, but I'm probably gonna keep all the grinding into one episode, so we might like have an hour and a half, 2 hour episode here of just
I understand. Well, I mean, we can always just keep the conversation of childhood nostalgia going, just to
yeah. I mean, I think
well.
that works well.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about I live on nostalgia, really. Like that's kind of my thing.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. I mean, some people more than others, but like, I live more in the past than I do the present. I'm like, oh, remember the good old days of when things were simpler times, and things were just more fun, and I still
and
all
then you
that.
play some NES games.
And those were definitely, I mean, they were simpler. They weren't easier, but they were simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is definitely before my time.
For sure.
Yeah, I was technically born during the fourth generation.
Yeah.
The fourth gen, but I wasn't really
You didn't.
coherent of a lot of life during the fourth generation. That definitely came in during the fifth generation when I was more coherent of life around me, and like I said, I do technically have childhood memories as early as 1995, but they were like, I don't know, what I would call like a snapshot memory of, like, I remember walking in the living room. I remember going from the garage to the house, like insignificant things. Like, I didn't really start forming like actual memories until probably the end of 95 going into 96.
Yeah.
I started kindergarten in 97. I do remember starting kindergarten. I have memories of kindergarten, and that was 97. So that's kind of where my childhood kind of started, really, was around 96, 97. And then pretty much each year, I kind of got more memories because my brain's a little bit more developed, so I'm able to retain more of those memories of, like, I remember more of 98 than I do of 97. I remember more of 99 than I do of 98, and so on.
Yeah. So I was born in 85. I started kindergarten in 90. So by 97, 98, I was starting to be a teenager on the early internet.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah, we didn't get our first computer until 98. So, I didn't really. So So people always say like, oh, well, you don't know what it's like to live without a computer like we did. I'm like, oh, I didn't get a computer until '98. So the first 5.5 years of my life, I didn't have a computer. I remember going to a local computer store when I was in kindergarten or first grade. Um, Actually, I can look up
So
approximately when that was.
we we had a computer like around 95 or so, but internet, um, we didn't get that till around 97 or something like that.
Okay.
So I even have some memories of like some old floppy disk PC games I would play on the computer.
I. Oh wow. Okay, so here's a random memory. I remember before we went to this computer store, we ate at Taco Bell when they had Goosebumps toys, and there was like this demon hamster thing. I thought it was a cat because I was like a little kid. I think it's a hamster.
Oh, shoot, what was the book cover for that title? It actually might have been Monster Blood 2 or one of the Monster Blood books that have like a like a real large hamster on the cover. I'm trying to
Okay.
remember. But yeah.
Yeah, but I remember we went to Taco Bell and I got this little hamster Goosebumps toy, and I was playing with that in the back seat of the car when we went to the store, and I'm looking at all these old computers, and I remember the screensavers on these computers, and the desktop picture was like um, of like the moon, and I'm like, whoa, that picture of the moon looks really cool, and I'm like, I want to be an astronaut when I grow up because I want to go out in space and where it's like really cool and like look at the moon and stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember some of the old screensavers of you have the haunted house where you have like the moon that's kind of going from the left to the right of the haunted house, and like there's a ghost that would pop out of the windows and stuff. I remember that. I remember the brick maze, the brick wall maze thing.
That one
I
was
remember,
awesome.
yeah, that was a cool one. I remember the pipes, like the pipes that like spread out all over the computer.
Yeah.
The little ball that like bounces around and turns to like spikes and then turns to a cube. And I remember I remember all those.
Oh yeah.
So I remember seeing some of that. That was like 96, and we didn't get our computer till 98, so maybe we just went to look at them, but we didn't buy one for a little bit. But I do remember at daycare, um, we had a couple Windows 95 computers in daycare, and I remember the computer startup noise, and I thought that was like the coolest sound ever, and I didn't know what OS it was tied to for like 20 years, and I'm like, what computer did we have when I was at daycare? And because I knew it wasn't Apple because Apple has a different like tone that it uses. And I'll get back to that in a little bit, but
Yeah.
eventually I came across like this compilation on YouTube of like Windows startup screens, and Windows 95 came up. Like, that's the sound. That is what we had in daycare in 1997, 98 were Windows 95 computers, and we had a Treasure Mountain, the PC game Treasure Mountain.
Oh, okay.
You remember that game?
I don't. So when I was young, like in the first and second grade, first or second grade, we did have computers at our school with like educational games.
Yeah,
Um,
this was kind of an educational game.
so now the computers they had were like Apple IIs.
Okay.
So we are talking the kind of games from this generation was Number Munchers,
Okay,
which was honestly kind of an awesome game, low key.
I've never heard of
Um,
that one.
um, and I want to say the game might be called Rocket's Boots or something like that. I'm not really sure. It was
Never heard of
it
that one either.
it felt like kind of a really early, not necessarily point and click, but it was like a kind of old adventure game where you had to find certain items or something like that.
Okay, that's cool.
Though I'm pretty sure I could have the name wrong for that one now. But Number Munchers I know for sure. You're just this little frog eating the right numbers. Like, in one level you have to eat like all the prime numbers and stuff like that.
Oh, that's pretty advanced then. I
Uh,
wouldn't have even known what a prime number was.
Or like, yeah, I'm trying to remember how it determines what you got to eat in the level or something.
Okay.
Or it might be something as simple as eating all the even numbers and odd numbers. And sometimes you have to add numbers together to see if it adds up to an even or odd number if you can eat that square.
Interesting. It's pretty cool. I sent you a couple pictures of Treasure Mountain for you to look up in your own time. And I remember when we got our first computer, and I wanted Treasure Mountain because like that was what we played in daycare. I'm like, I want to play Treasure Mountain. We couldn't find Treasure Mountain, but we found Treasure Cove.
Mm.
And I got excited at Treasure Cove because the guy, like when you first started the game, the guy is wearing the Treasure Mountain outfit. I'm like, that's the Treasure Mountain guy. So I'm like, it's the same character. Like I was excited about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, in Treasure Cove, you play under the ocean and get you're trying to get all the bricks to the Rainbow Bridge. I remember that. And wow, these graphics actually pretty good. Like the graphics are better than I was expecting for a game this old.
Right.
Because when I look at the Treasure Mountain graphics, they look primitive.
Yeah.
Now Treasure Cove came out in '97. It looks like. So I
Mm.
mean, they're like Super Nintendo graphics, but they're like late Super Nintendo graphics versus Treasure Mountain is kind of more like towards the end of the NES life, where the graphics are.
So maybe something along the lines of. So a game I did have on PC. It was a floppy disk game. It was a point and click adventure, pretty much. It was called Police Quest 2.
Okay.
Which you can buy all the games on Steam, actually. They got a collection out. So I guess Sierra owns the games now. Or maybe they've always owned the games. Anyways, it looks very kinda old Nintendo pixelated kinda graphics, which might be something you're referring to.
Okay, I'm looking at the Treasure Cove, Treasure Mountain games. Okay, so I don't know why the picture I sent you said 1997 because it came out in 1992.
Hmm.
Unless it got like there's an enhanced version. Okay, so that's probably the version I have was the enhanced version. And yeah, because it came out in 1992, then in 1994, an enhanced and more Windows-friendly version was released on CD-ROM. In 1997, it was remade with enhanced graphics and sound. So that's probably the version I have. And actually, I think I still have it.
Oh, wow.
No way, I do have it. I have my original copy. Yeah, this is 1997. I have the 1997 um, version of Treasure Cove, and this is actually my original copy from when I was like.
Is it like a big box or something?
No, I just have the disc of
Oh,
the.
okay, okay.
I mean, it probably had a big box, but I
Yeah,
just kept the CD case
right.
and the disc, of course.
So, one of my favorite games on the PC that doesn't hold up now, really. Did you ever play the original Lego Island?
I didn't play that one. I do have, and I think I still have them because I'm kind of a hoarder. I don't throw things away, especially if they're kind of out. Um, but I do remember playing a couple Lego games that came out later. Um, still 90s era, I think.
So, kind of maybe. Well, I know there was a bunch of Lego games. Um, you have like Lego Racers, Lego Rock Raiders. There was a Legoland game, I think.
Okay, I looked. I do have Legoland. That came out in 2000, and I got Lego Loco, which is kind of
Okay.
like a Sim City thing. I don't know when that one came out, and I played a little bit of Lego Loco, but I played. Okay, that was 1998. I played more Legoland more than Lego Loco,
Yeah.
but when my parents saw me playing uh, the Legoland game a lot, that's when my mom bought me Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Ooh, such a good game.
Oh yeah, I have so many memories with the original Roller Coaster Tycoon, and that's why I talk about it all the time. Like, and that's why I had to buy Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 on the Switch, even though I never played the third one. I played
So,
the first one and Loopy Landscapes, which is kind of like the first expansion. I played those like all the time as a kid.
there was something about the way Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 looked that I just wasn't gripped with it like I was the first one. And I never officially owned the second one, so I never actually played the second one. But the second one looks like it kind of keeps the art style of the first one.
Yeah. What you would enjoy is Roller Coaster Tycoon Deluxe. You can get on the Switch. It basically combines the elements of 1 and 2 into one game.
I
So,
Do you mean Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic? That's all.
yeah, classic. Yeah.
Yeah, I have it on Steam
Okay.
actually.
Yeah, Deluxe was a different game.
Now,
Yeah.
now there. Now people will argue online about Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Like, you can just mod that to have all the like some of the features from the first one. But yeah, I just ended up buying Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic.
That's probably the best way to do it. And you have all the best stuff of 1 and 2 in one package. I have heard a lot of similar things about 3 though. That 3 just wasn't as good.
It
It's
was
not as
it was done.
loved.
So 1 and 2, I think I know for sure. Well, obviously 1 was done by one guy, and I think he might have been involved in 2 as well. But I know with 3, the guy Chris Sawyer wasn't
Yeah.
involved with.
He wasn't involved with 3.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. That is probably why it looks so different. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea in 3 that you can ride your rides, which is really cool. That you can't do that in the first 2. But
Yeah,
I do agree. There's some kind of magic in the first 2 Roller Coaster Tycoon games. Um, And yeah, I've got so many memories of me playing just kind of a casual. Like I didn't do any of the challenges. I just wanted to build my park. And I would get so far, and then when I'm like, all right, I'm bored, I want to start over. I just start over.
You sound like me. I kept replaying the first scenario well past when I got the scenario goals. I just kept on playing and building up my park.
Yeah.
Like, I tried the second scenario, played it. I beat the second scenario, but then, like, the third one onward, I just didn't bother with. I always come back and replay the first scenario.
Yeah, that's yeah. I just wanted to build my park. Like I didn't care about like, oh, build so many restrooms or build so many whatever. Like I just want to build my park.
Yeah. And
Um,
it was so I, I know, shame on me, but I never actually, I always used like the pre-created coasters. I didn't really mess a whole lot with the custom roller coaster
yeah,
builder.
I was kind of the same way. I mean, like I had some ideas, and I think I built a few that were just like really basic. But I'm like, well, that coaster looks cool. Sure, let's put that one in the park. And I would always do the dynamic dunes park in Roller Coaster Tycoon because it has a really cool like minecart roller coaster that's already like in the park.
Okay, yeah, that's the second scenario I was talking about.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would always do that one because the first one was like the forest one. So I would always do either the forest or the desert one because the desert one has a special roller coaster already in there. I didn't really do the lake one because I'm like, oh, that was too. I'm like, no, I'm good. I would always do either the forest or dynamic dunes.
Yeah.
Um, oh, I played a lot of Zoo Tycoon as well.
Never played that.
Oh, that one's so good. I think I actually enjoyed Zoo Tycoon more than Roller Coaster Tycoon because like you get to watch the animals walk around. Like you're still like bird's eye view, and I think that's probably also Chris Sawyer as well because I mean it just looks so similar.
It could be.
I'm gonna look that up. I actually have my original copy. I wonder if it has his name.
So, well, I'll look off screen. I'm not sure what. I know Thunderwave paralyzed it, but I didn't read what it did, to be honest.
Oh yeah, Thunder Wave is basically like Pikachu's static ability, but as an attack. So think of it as
It didn't really hurt Rattata though.
no, it doesn't. It is just a straight paralysis. So Thunder Shock is a damaging move that might paralyze. Thunder Wave doesn't do any damage but guaranteed paralysis.
Ah, okay.
But then you also have Pikachu's static ability, which if Pikachu is hit with a physical hitting move, there's like a 30% chance that they get paralyzed because of it. So Thunder Wave is almost like if you want to ensure that that Pokemon is paralyzed, Thunder Wave is the way to go. Otherwise, you can just hope they hit you with an attack and get paralyzed from the static. So it has its uses.
Yeah.
Thanks to Pikachu's ability, it's not as important, but it is good for just you want to ensure that you get that paralysis. Then yeah, you can ensure that it's paralyzed. Oh yeah, so I'm looking at my Zoo Tycoon. I don't see Chris Sawyer's name on it, but the version that I have is, in my opinion, the best Zoo Tycoon game that will ever be made. And unfortunately, I can't really play it on. I might still be able to put it on my my desktop PC. Came out in 2003. This particular version is what they call the Complete Collection, where you have the basic Zoo Tycoon, as well as the Marine, whatever they call, what is it called? Marine Mania, and the Dino Digs, all in one package. So Marine Mania was basically a zoo tycoon, but like a sea world where you have like sharks, dolphins, whales, and then Dino Digs, which is dinosaurs, but along with that you can get like woolly mammoths and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, and this Zoo Tycoon Complete Collection that came out in 2003 combined all three of those games into one. So yeah, you can build elephants next to a T-Rex, next to a whale, all in one park, and it is so fun, especially when I printed out a list of like the cheats because that game was full of cheat codes. Like, and they're like really simple. Like, hold like Shift and F4 or something, and
Yeah.
watch your money like, skyrocket. But I remember when you do that, it weakens the cages. So you'll be like, you'll have like $1.2 million, and it says Grizzly Bear 1 escaped. Whatever. I don't care right now. Tiger 1 has escaped. That's not a big deal. Tyrannosaurus Rex 1 has escaped. Okay, let's hunt down that T-Rex. um, so I remember that was one. I remember if you build an exhibit and you type in Xanadu, you call it Xanadu, you unlock unicorns.
Hmm.
I remember Super Croc. You will get these giant crocodiles. They're like double the size crocodile, like a 30-foot long crocodile or whatever. I remember if you build an aquarium for like dolphins or whatever, put the mermaid statue in there, it becomes a real mermaid.
Hmm.
So those were some of the secrets in that ultimate Zoo Tycoon package, and that was one of my most played games like ever. Was that Zoo Tycoon? A friend introduced me to that version like 2005 or whatever. A kid down the street, and I played it at his house, and I'm like, this is really cool. And so I think I found it at like Costco or something when we had a Costco membership.
So
Yeah.
when I was playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, I kind of had another game along with it that I kind of played a lot of. You might have heard of it. The Sims.
No, I've never heard of The Sims.
Yeah.
I I want. I remember wanting to play the Sims games, but like Sim City or whatever, and my mom says no, you're not allowed to play Sims. And I don't know why I wasn't allowed to. I think my mom heard it as like Sin City,
Ah.
and so like no, you're not allowed to play that. But that's just
uh,
my information.
um,
Yeah.
who was it that made Zoo Tycoon? Because I might have had the developer wrong. It's possible I was thinking of the Sims creator.
Um, Blue Fang.
That's the name. Sorry, who was the creator of it? Or
Oh,
or was there a single creator?
I don't know. I'm looking at the CD case,
Oh, okay.
and it says Blue Fang Games on it.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's just developed by Microsoft, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't have an individual's name on it. It just says Blue Fang Games, and it's got like a blue cobra. You can see his fangs.
Almost to level 10 with wattage.
Awesome.
Then I don't know who I have left. Monkey, I think I need to get up there.
Okay.
I am not dealing with Weedle. I don't want
I
to get
understand.
poisoned.
Although at level 9, it probably takes like 2 Thundershocks to kill that Weedle, but I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah, I would say, yeah, get Wattage up to level 10, and Monkey up to level 10. Maybe level up Squirtle to like level 12, which is like 1 level.
Yeah.
And I think will be good for Brock.
Right.
At least all this talk of nostalgia is really making this fly by. Like, I mean, we've been, like you said, like we've been recording for like an hour and a half almost.
Right.
But just all this talk of nostalgia. I mean, like this is the perfect kind of episode for viewers to just kind of have playing in the background as we listen to. Like, this
Oh,
really
yeah.
is like a podcast episode. Really.
This is like a podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, it's a podcast with Pokemon in the background for whatever reason. But yeah.
Yeah. To anyone that is watching, if you guys have any take on anything that we said, go ahead and post it in the comments.
Share your favorite childhood memories, the video games you played, the cartoons that you watched. Share all that. I want to read it.
I had this racing game like on back when. So, like I said, we had a PC around the Windows 95 era, and another floppy game I had. I couldn't tell you the name of the game because they were like a dime a dozen. It was some IndyCar racing game, early primitive kind of 3D. It looked very polygon and stuff.
Yeah.
So the graphics, the textures of the graphics were like non-existent. It was just solid colors, pretty much.
Basically, like Star Fox on Super Nintendo.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, there's a charm to that. Like when I see graphics like that, I'm like, oh man, that is so ugly. But I really like it because of how ugly. Because yeah, it's like that really is capturing that moment. Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of amazing what you can get into with the game when you're that young. Literally, all I did in the game was turn around and go backwards on the track to crash into other vehicles.
Oh yeah, that's the fun of it.
That's all I did. That was me playing the game.
That kind of reminds me, talking about like, I don't know, like how kids would just create their own ideas of what's going on in the game and stuff. And a friend came over. This is 2020, 21, something like that. And he brought his son with him, and his son was like 5. He had recently, my friend had recently gotten divorced.
Yeah.
But custody of the kid that day, and I put in Pokemon Sword or Shield, and I just remember the little kid. He's kind of like how I described, like going into my house, going to my rival's house, that kind of thing. And that's basically what he was doing. He's like, this is Daddy's house, and he like walks down the street, and this is Mommy's house. And they're like, oh man, this poor kid. He's saying like, oh, this is normal. Mom and Dad live in different houses. That's just how it is. Like, it's like that's not how it's supposed to be. That is an unfortunate thing that a lot of kids grew up with, but that was his mindset. It's like, oh, this is Mommy's house. This is Daddy's house. I'm like, sure, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time, so with my friends and local multiplayer, I made up my own fun with Mario Kart after we played it to death. In particular, Mario Kart 64.
Yeah.
So you know how when you play locally, it's like 4-player split screen.
Uh-huh.
So we would go onto a battle map, particularly the one that's like 3 levels. I don't know how well you remember the battle maps in 64.
Yeah, I know we actually played through all the battle maps on the channel, like 2022.
Yeah,
I vaguely know it.
Yeah, it's mainly like red and green for the most part, but anyways, so we would have the other players go out of the room to where they aren't looking at the TV. you would go and kind of find a corner or something to rotate the camera to hide your screen, and then we would
Oh, that's hide
do
and seek.
we would do hide and seek. Yeah.
That's cool. That sounds really fun, actually. I'm trying to think of like things like that we did. I know I have some memories like that. I know we did that a lot with the toys. Obviously, like we would create like scenarios with toys, and we did that a lot with Pokemon toys because I had a lot of. Um, still have. I had a huge collection of Pokemon toys.
So, speaking of toys, so growing up, I had I was big in like wrestling and the whole action figures and stuff,
Hmm.
having my own wrestling matches and such.
Oh,
We we had a trampoline,
yeah.
and this is probably a little bit dangerous, so I don't really want anyone to actually do this. But so in wrestling, there's a match called a Royal Rumble where a bunch of wrestlers get in the ring, and in order to eliminate the opponent, you have to throw them out of the ring, pretty much.
Yeah.
So we would have a bunch of wrestling action figures spread out all over the trampoline, and we would jump till one is still remaining on the trampoline.
That's what I was expecting. That sounds fun. We a friend down the street, he had a trampoline, and we would do this kind of kind of like a dodgeball on the trampoline, where since you're bouncing around, it's easy to dodge the ball. But we decided that if you get hit, you lose your legs. If you get hit again, you lose your arms. If you hit a third time, you lose your eyes. Fourth time, you're the one that has to throw the ball.
Uh,
But a friend can catch the ball and tag you and restore like your eyes, restore your arms, restore your legs.
yeah.
So like if you lose your legs, your friend catches the ball, he tags you, and you have your legs back. And we did that for a while until like his youngest brother, who was like 5 or whatever, and he would start crying because like you always hit me with the ball. That's like the easiest target. But like no, we don't. Like it just so happened that he would always get in the way, but he was the easiest target because like it's really easy to hit a 5-year-old with the ball. But yeah, I know that we did other games, kind of like the wrestling thing, because like I remember with the Pokemon toys, we would create like wars with like these are the evil Pokemon, these are the good Pokemon, and they're at war with each other, or we would do like the originals versus the newer ones, or evolved forms versus the base forms, which would also have like legendaries in there, because like they would technically be base form.
Yeah.
So we would do things like that. We would have like little adventures with like Pikachu on his own little adventure with his like little Pokemon squad, and they save the world from the evil Team Rocket. I did stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
at a friend's house, and I know I mentioned this when there was that Pokopia Resident Evil meme, and yeah, he had this gaming magazine with a joke of Resident Evil Pokemon, and so when I was over at his house, like I have like little Ash, Misty, Brock, Jesse James figures, and they were trying to
Oh,
stop
we
the.
we still have Angry Bird too.
We're not done yet, then. Okay.
Not quite.
Um. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I remember we did a Resident Evil Pokemon at his house with the little Pokemon toys. Ooh, here's one that I remember doing. I took my little not Pokemon related. I took my little Lego guys, like the Lego minifigures,
Oh yeah.
and I put them with my dinosaur toys, and they were on Jurassic Park. That was fun.
Um, Do you remember the old Lego sets you have? Like, have you looked them up recently? Like, I I actually have considered going back and buying some of the sets I had, but I know I shouldn't, and I probably won't, but I have looked up at the sets I had growing up.
I am kind of curious on what sets I had, and actually, I probably still have them, but those parts are used because I want to create this vehicle,
Yeah.
and so I pulled pieces from this and from this and from this to create this other vehicle. So I probably technically have all those sets I had as a kid. They're just in pieces, and in a container full of Legos, it's impossible to piece them together. But I know I had like this like a police ship, like a little police cruise ship, like not a ship, like a boat, like a patrol boat. I
Yeah.
know I had that. I know I had this little spaceman looking thing with a little rocket ship. I know I had a little race car driver and a little car, and I know I had like a plane or like a jet. Um,
So I actually do have one. Now it's keep in mind it's just a small set that has
oh yeah,
has like
all these I
yeah.
am talking about are small, with the exception of the police cruiser thing. All these were like the $10, $15 sets back in the 90s, early 2000s.
So yeah, a few years ago, I don't remember particularly how many. I did go back and rebuy one of them sets. It still has the box, and it
Hmm.
still has the instructions. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's only like a 40-piece set, and it's part of the Knight's Kingdom. Now there was different eras of this Lego set. So I think my set that I grew up with was the second era, and the first era was like the classic era, kind of.
Uh-huh. I do remember the Lego Kingdom sets.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing like the castle when you have like the little knights and they're riding the horses and stuff. I remember that. And then I remember in the 2000s they had another wave and they called them like Lego Knights Kingdom, and they
Yeah.
actually had some like bionicle size knights, and I had the first wave of those, and they made a second wave, and I was going to get those, but I never got around to them, and so I missed out on those. But I do have the first wave of the those. But I do remember they had like the miniature Lego Knights Kingdom of those. Those were probably around 2004, 2005, that era. But I do remember late 90s, early 2000s had some of that too.
So I know particularly the era that mine is from, they had like the King Leo the lion kinda on the shield of the good side,
Yeah.
and on the bad side it was like a black bull head.
Okay. Now that kind of reminds me of a Mega Bloks Knight Castle that I got at like Toys R Us.
Okay.
Um, and I'm gonna send you a picture of that one. Um, and
If I remember, I'll put these in the video, but
this thing is older than I thought. Um, okay, so apparently I found a listing on eBay for $30. It's incomplete, but it came out in 1994.
mm,
I didn't realize it was that old. Well, there's no good pictures of the front of it. I'm trying to find one that you can like see the castle. I
yeah.
remember we bought that in like at Toys R Us or something in um the late 90s. Oh, well, okay. Here's a picture of the box. So I'll send you that one. Oh, and feel free to add more pictures of some of the other stuff we're talking about, because this is, yeah,
Yeah.
this is a very nostalgia-heavy episode. Oh, remember this, and it'd be kind of fun to,
Yeah.
uh, anyway, that thing I just sent you there, I actually still have this, but it's kind of like, kind of in pieces, like, I kind of, made my own furniture and stuff, and it's, but I mean, I have the king, I have the lion, I have the knight and the horse, the princess, she turns into a witch, um, and so like you would swap out her red dress for a black dress, you would turn her head around because she would have like blue eyes and pink lips, and you would turn the head around and she's like an evil like witch face, and you would take off her yellow hair and put on the witch hat, and she's a witch and has a broom.
Yeah.
There was a lion with wings, as well, that was in that set. It was pretty cool. I just I was a little kid, so I would probably build it right if I were to get another set. But I still have my set from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Um, Now, speaking of castles, do you remember the Fisher Price castle?
Uh. So I don't remember really a lot of like the Fisher Price toys that I actually had. Like.
Because okay, I still have my Fisher Price castle. Oh, that's also from 1994. So I guess 1994 was just a big year for knights and castles and stuff. Um, yeah, because I still have my castle. I got a western town. I have a
Oh.
submarine.
I had a few sets of Wild West Legos too.
I forgot about that. Yeah, they did have Wild West Legos.
Yeah.
Um, I remember those, but yeah, I had the Fisher Price castle. I say had. I actually still have the castle, the western town, Robin Hood Forest, pirate ship, and then like some little pirate island that's kind of like an accessory. Like it was a separate thing, but it was like an accessory for the pirate ship. It was like a
Yeah.
skull island thing. And I also had an accessory for the western town. It was a stagecoach. It came with 2 horses, um, and I remember the stagecoach had like a hidden cannon in there, so you can like pull out the cannon, and that was really cool. Um, so was that it? Yeah, I think that was all of them. But I still have all of those sets and all the little characters as well, and I just have all those in a little Rubbermaid container. But yeah, I still have all that. A little submarine. I have a little submarine as well. Um, and I played with those all the time. And I would also use the castle and the western town and all that stuff in other things that I was playing, like Pokemon, for example. Like King Mewtwo, he would be in the castle, for example, and like the western town, that was like the center of town of the kingdom.
Yeah.
Um, so I would do stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I used those in so many different, um, like different activities that I played. I would use the castle and the pirate ship and all that stuff and all those. And I wish I was like 8 years old again. And
I
because
mean,
I have those toys. I can go in the storage room right now and like play with them. But I'm like, who like that's weird. Like a 33-year-old man going in the storage room to play with little toys, and be like, oh yeah, I'm the little sheriff. You're under arrest. Like that's weird. But like If I was 8, that'd
Hey,
be.
you know what? Dark Helmet did it in Spaceballs, so why can't you do it?
That's a good point. You know, that actually reminds me of, um, I was in college, and Odin X86, which Viro viewers check out my playthrough of the original Smash Brothers. Odin X86 was one of the people that played the game with me, Fruit, and Kaj. It was me, him, his brother, and yeah, it was me, him, and his brother, and it was New Year's Eve 2013 going into 14. So we're all in college. And we broke out the plastic army men, and they're like painted plastic army men, and like there's this war torn World War II town, like a European town that's like blown up by bombs or whatever, and we turned it into a strategy game where you roll the dice to move your people so many feet, and it was basically like Warhammer, but really primitive and like off-brand Warhammer that we were using plastic army men, but like painted plastic army men and like trying to take over like this building versus like this building and all that. We did that for New Year's Eve. Where I was 21 and they were like 28 or 27 maybe, and we're playing with plastic army men in college. So it's like I guess what I'm saying is if I had people to do it with, I would so do that right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm not gonna do that by myself. It's like I need other people to share in my weirdness. I'm not gonna do it by myself. But like yeah, if I think we also kind of did that with the Star Wars toys because at that time they were really big in the Star Wars.
Yeah.
I guess they still are, but like I showed them all my Star Wars toys, and like we kind of played around with some of the toys a little bit because I have some of the vehicles as well, and like I do have a Millennium Falcon, still in the box by the way, like a Millennium Falcon from like the 70s or 80s, probably from the 80s. But yeah, I still have like I know at the time I had the box for it. I might still have the box. But yeah, we played with the Star Wars toys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have a lot of the childhood toys. I did have a big purge of stuff. I call it the toy purge of '07, where I remember I had to I'm like I'm not playing with a lot of these. I'm going to get rid of a lot of these toys. And I got rid of a lot. I kind of regret getting rid of some of them. Like I got rid of my Micro Machines and I regret that. I got rid of my Max Steel toys and I regret that. I almost got rid of my Furby, but that thing was possessed and it was in the Goodwill pile. And no matter where I was in the basement, that thing had its eyes locked on me. And I'm like, okay, I'll put you back in the keep pile. And then it seemed like it was happy.
So, low key, I always wanted a Furby and never had one.
I mean, this was my original Furby from 1998 or whatever, and I mean, I always wanted one, and so I finally got one, and I played with it for a while, but and they're cute. They are cute. Like I don't really think they're as evil or annoying as other people say they are, but
I still think I would go and buy one if I found I guess kind of a pattern I liked with one.
well, what kind of Furby pattern would you want? What color?
I honestly don't know. I know my favorite color's like blue, but that's not much to go off of.
I do remember seeing a blue. Oh, okay. I found one on Reddit that was actually this one. This is a really cool looking Furby. I'm gonna send this one to you.
Like
it's not for sale, but I think I think you'll just love this Furby then. Um,
Like, I'd buy a Furby to put up with my plushies.
my Furby was all black except for he's got white feet. But mine was
Yeah.
an all black Furby. But I remember seeing like the gray spotted one. I remember like the all white ones. But yeah, I'm gonna try to find a Furby for you. Wow, these are kind of expensive.
I mean, they are. Everything's become a collectible now.
Yeah, that's
So.
true. Oh, dude, actually, oh, no longer available. Why are you saying that it was a thing then? I was gonna be like, I found the perfect one for you, but it's sold. Because I'm like, oh no way, the 1998 Furby Dragon new unopened for $80. But it was,
It was a lie.
it was a lot.
Oh, you're at level 10.
Good. Well, I am finding Furbies for around 100, like
Yeah,
in the box, like in the original box.
that seems about right. And that's something
Um,
I'd be okay with. It doesn't matter.
well, I'm going to try to find one.
Are,
Um,
are they don't take it like any kind of unique batteries, do they? Just standard
no,
batteries, right?
I think they're either double A or triple A. They're normal batteries.
Okay. Yeah, we got Angry Bird and Squirtle. Now, then we can take
Okay.
out Brock, which
All
I
right.
will probably also throw in this episode since we kind of wasted everyone's time leveling up. We should give them some kind of progression.
Dude, we talked about 80s and 90s nostalgia for like 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's already kind of a treat right there. I mean, that's up to you. It's your channel, but since we spent so long on this episode,
Yeah.
we won't be able to record as many episodes. So it's
Oh,
that's
I'm sure that will be fine for them, because if you notice, I've kind of been spacing out the episodes anyways a little bit.
yeah, I did notice that, but
So, and if we can stick to this weekly thing, then we should have plenty of episodes where we'll always be ahead. Anyways.
yeah, I guess that's fair. Oh, okay. I found a Furby. He doesn't have this box, but because of that, he's only $50.
Yeah. Is this just like on eBay, I'm assuming?
Yeah, and yeah, 2 AA batteries. Because it showed that. So I'm gonna go ahead and send that to you. How do I share? Oh, there we go. Share. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and share that with you, so that way you can potentially buy a Furby. It's not as cool as the other one I sent you. It's gray, but it's got blue eyes. So
Yeah.
it's kind of nice. But yeah, you would love the other one that I sent you, because it's kind of like just a rich blue with like a cream patch on his belly. But I'm like, I didn't even know that color existed.
Is that the one that's not available?
Yeah, but it was just a really cool color, so I sent that one to you. But I sent you just a gray with blue eyes on eBay that works.
Yeah. Furbies,
Anyway, yeah.
Furbies always reminded me of the movie Gremlins.
Yeah. In fact, I had, I remember I had some McDonald's Furbies, like they were just plastic.
Yeah.
But they have hair, like little, like fuzz on the top of their heads or whatever.
Yeah.
And one of them had a fuzzy stripe that went from his ears down to his tail, and I called him Stripe, just like in the Gremlins movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this one's the leader, because his name is I'm going to name him Stripe, and he's going to be the leader. And I had a little army of these things. I had like Yeah, because they, um, there was a lot of those like, at McDonald's,
Do you do you
Kirby.
remember the McDonald's toys that were so they were small? I guess you could call them like they were they were like Transformers that originally when they're put together they're just different McDonald's food, but you can
McDonald's changeables.
yeah, yeah,
With
sure.
the exception of the ones that came out this year, I have a full set of both the robot and the dinosaur because I had some of those as a kid and they were
Wait,
kind of cool.
Robot and Dinosaur. Now, in particular, I remember one being a sandwich that turns into something, but I don't know specifically what they're called.
Yeah, well, yeah. The McDonald's changeables.
Mm,
Yeah, you have like they were different waves. There were like two waves of the robot, and then there was a wave of the dinosaur, and these are all from like 1988 to 1991 or something.
okay, okay.
But yeah, you would have one like a Big Mac, and like you flip up the top bun, and it's like a robot, and then like part of the bun like pops out to be his arms.
Okay.
Um, and then they also have the dinosaur one as well, where I remember one of them was like a kid's cheeseburger, and you would like pop down like you would put the burger on its side and pop down like part of it to be its legs, and then like burger the burger itself, like one would unfold to be the dinosaur's tail, and the other one would fold out to be the dinosaur's head. Um, I remember I had that one as a kid, and I still have my original as a kid, but I bought this one of the set on eBay, and so I keep all those together. But I used to have, and this was one of my favorite toys as a little kid. I'm talking about like 1996 era here. Was the Happy Meal, um, the Happy Meal box, and the M of the Happy Meal box was the back spikes of a little T-Rex. And so you would fold down his legs and you would flip up its head. And so the McDonald M became his back spikes. And
Mm,
I remember I had that. I took that thing with me everywhere, and I lost him at daycare in like 96 or 97. And it took me decades to be reunited with one of those because, like I said, I finally bought the full set. Um,
oh
and
man, I just remembered some of the because I was thinking about my plushies, and then I remember some stuffed animals I had as a kid
oh yeah,
that I kind of wish I had now. um,
I I still have a lot of my like childhood stuffed animals.
so okay, you know you've seen the movie Space Jam?
Oh yeah.
Um, I had a Daffy Duck and a Lola Bunny, um, stuffed animal,
Uh huh.
and I think I also at one point I had a Toy Story Rex stuffed animal,
Uh huh.
and I think that's the only three that popped to mind.
I still have. I only had five Looney Tunes plushies, and I don't know why I only stopped at five. Um,
Oh
but
wait, I did have a Sonic the Hedgehog, but being a dumb kid, um, I kinda was rough with it, and it didn't survive.
um, I now I still have my Sonic and Knuckles that I got. Those were early 2000s, but I actually put those in the monkey cave a couple years ago. Um,
Yeah,
just because I'm like, oh well, they're video game characters. They just belong on the shelf above the video games. Um,
I found a Shadow the Hedgehog plushie at one of the conventions I went to, and I bought it, and
well,
now
that's cool.
it's in next to my Waluigi. Waluigi's like my favorite Mario character. Not, no need to even think about it.
He's like iconic and he's hilarious. I get it. Um, but yeah, I've got there's a lot of plushies I have from when I was a kid. I know I wanted to get rid of my Winnie the Pooh plushies from when I was a kid, and my parents wouldn't let me, so I think I still have those somewhere.
Mm.
I know I still have Mickey wearing the wizard hat from like Fantasia. I know I still have that. Um, I what else do I have? I know I have Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Taz, Tweety, and Sylvester. So I've got 5 of the Looney Tunes characters. I know I've got a Garfield. Um, I got a Pikachu and a Psyduck and a big Charizard. I've got a Scooby-Doo that I got from amusement park. Now, I don't know why I didn't think of this as a kid, but the Scooby-Doo, like, he's holding a hot dog in one hand, and in his other hand, it's supposed to be a hamburger. And I remember, I'm like, hey, wait, there's supposed to be something in this hand. And they gave me another one that was also missing the hamburger, and I'm like, I just shrugged my shoulders. I guess his hand's just like that. I guess he's not supposed to be holding it. And years later, I found out, yeah, he's supposed to be holding a hamburger. But we went through like 2 or 3 Scooby-Doos that were all missing the hamburger. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess he doesn't have a hamburger. But I just assumed that, okay, he's not holding anything. His hand is just like that for some reason. It was years later I realized there was supposed to be a hamburger there, but so maybe now I'll track down the Scooby-Doo hamburger so that way I can like have it sewn to his hand like it's supposed to. But right now, all he has is a hot dog in the other hand.
You know,
But
I think we're about ready to.
okay,
Yeah, there wasn't much left on Squirt.
I didn't think so. Yeah, I just figured that level 12 would be pretty good. He might learn Water Gun at level 12, which would be really good for Brock.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. I will probably end the episode and make the grinding the focus of this one.
Yeah, that's fair. And
It's
I mean,
been.
I thought the conversation was interesting enough to make it worth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, if people were here for Pokemon, they might be a little disappointed because we barely talked about Pokemon. I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but if just the whole nostalgia podcast thing,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that would be interesting enough commentary to make the episode worth it, even though it is, well over 2 hours.
I made a wild choice in deciding I didn't really want to cut out any of the gameplay footage. And watch to each their own. I know some people will be turned off by that.
Chances are, probably later on, you might want to do some off-screen grinding, like even on your own or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just we're early enough that it's okay. Like we got plenty of commentary, but we might have. I don't think we would. I'm just imagining like we're level 50 and we're grinding, and it's like I don't know if I have much more nostalgia to talk about by that point. Maybe. Okay, cool. Level 12. You learn a move.
We did not. Okay.
Well, we're level 12, so I think we're going to be okay to battle Brock. Might be level 13. I know that we're close to learning Water Gun, but I guess we'll just deal with Bubble for right now. I mean, that's still super effective. I would say let's get some potions, but we can't.
Yeah.
We have like 12 Poké Dollars.
Yep, and I don't think they're in a charitable mood.
No.